Hey guys, we are going to do A.2A today, and the examples I'm going to give you are, let's see, there we go. We're going to determine the domain and range of a linear function in math problems, both continuous and discrete, and we're going to represent the domain and range using inequalities. Sounds like a lot, but it's not. Okay, here's the first problem. The range is all the y values of the function. From the graph, the y values are between -3 and 5. So I want to show you how that looks. So this isn't a problem. This is just showing you how it looks on a graph. So they're talking about the range. And that is our y. That is our output. And that is our dependent variable. So they're telling us for the graph, the y values are between -3 and 5. So let's see what they're saying. Okay, we know right down here, this is x is 0 and y is -3. That's what this point is telling us, that the y starts at the -3 and it goes all the way to 5. So we know this range from -3 all the way up to 5 is what they're talking about. So that's what that means. We can see from that line the values are -3 to 5. That's all they're saying. Let's look at the next one. Let's clean this up. Let's try this problem. Hold on just a second. Let me see if I can move this out of the way. Here we go. So what is the domain of the following function? So now we're going to do just the opposite, and we're going to look at the x. So I can see if we're going this way, I can see when x is -4, because that is -4 right there. And then this point looks like it is x is about 1.5. So we know the domain of the following function is -4, and it's going to have an x here. The range will have a y. And this is another important point. As you can see, this is less than or equal to. So if on the graph it's filled in, we know it's less than or equal to. And that's what these are. They're filled in, so we would need to select B. So if you have a line and at the end it's open, it will just be less than. If it's filled in, it's going to be less than or equal to. Let's look at the next one. Okay, let's clean up the screen. And let's see if we can figure out the answer to this question. The function y equals 1.5 plus 0.35x represents the price for a taxi ride of x miles. Which of the following is not a reasonable domain value for this function? So if somebody's going to ride in a taxi, they're going to pay 35 cents per mile plus $1.50 for the ride. So since they're going to be paying money for their taxi ride, just looking at this, we can tell that this negative number will not work because they are not going to pay a negative fare to drive in the taxi. Let's look at the next one. This one says, what is the range of the function 2x plus y equals 7? So they're telling us the domain. Here is our equation, and I'm going to put this into y equals mx plus b format. So everything looks great. We have y equals, we have the 7. I'm going to put the 7 there. That's our y-intercept. But I need to move the 2x over. So therefore, we have negative 2x plus 7 is our function. And we know part of the table is going to be negative 4, negative 2, 0, 5, and 7. And we need to know when we have this input, what is our output going to be? We're going to use the calculator for this. Let's see if I can find the calculator. Let's see. Let me take this off full screen and get the calculator pulled up. Okay. So I'm going to go stat, enter, or stat, edit, and I'm going to put in my values. Hold on a second. Yeah, okay, here we are. I'm sorry. We need to hit y equals. And I believe our equation was, dang it, y equals negative 2x plus 7. So I'm going to put that in the calculator. Negative 2x plus 7. And I'm going to hit, there we go. I'm going to hit second table. And I'm going to look on there and I'm going to see when x is negative 4, it's going to tell me what y is. When x is negative 4, y is 15. And we have that here. When x is negative 2, y is 11, and that's the other number. When x is 0, y is 7. When x is 5, y is negative 3. And when x is 7, we can see that y is negative 7. So we know that is our information. So even though we're doing domain and range, we can still use the buttons on the calculator. If we put in the input, we can get the output. Let's see what the next one is. Well, can't seem to turn off the stylus. Let's see what we can do here. I think that'll do it for now, guys. I'm going to have to make another video here. Stay tuned for part 2.